Well, the time has come to have a look and see if these G.I. Joe classified figures have been worth the wait and whether they're worth the price. Now, I know this isn't my usual kind of video. I don't normally do this sort of like hands in the camera, immediate review of a new product, but I thought, you know what? I got these three items in, namely the Lieutenant Falcon, Outback, and Covergirl from G.I. Joe Classified. You'll note that the Marauders Barbecue and the Crimson Bat from this wave are not here on screen, and that's just because I elected not to order those. Now, I consider these three to be more of the core characters rather than, well, I guess they're really all core characters, but they're not part of a sub-team. These are appearances of these characters as they appeared in the original A Real American Hero toy line in the opening years before the sub-team era. So what I'm going to do is open these one by one and just have a look and give some of my candid thoughts. Now, you'll notice this will be a little bit of a different feel than my usual videos. I'm not, reading off the script or any talking notes. You're getting the candid Ken that you normally get on a live stream, except that I'm not on camera and just going, hands in the camera kind of approach. I figured let's give this a try, and hopefully those of you out there watching this happen to enjoy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get Outback unboxed first. And I know, people aren't really a fan of the windowless packaging, but it's not bad. It captures the essence of what Outback is, and you get to see the figure on the back there, and he's number 63 in the G.I. Joe Classified series. So let's get this open, and as you all know, or those of you who follow the channel for a while know that I don't have an X-Acto knife, so I just kind of go at it hard with scissors here. I don't think I'll save the packaging on this, but let's have a look at what Outback looks like. And you can see right there, it looks pretty good. Hopefully you can see it quite well on the camera there. Now, because I'm recording this within StreamYard, I will be doing this in 720p rather than 1080p. I normally tend to alternate between 720 and 1080p anyway, depending on whether or not I need to save space on my hard drive or not, and how long the video is, and a lot of other considerations. But just at first glance here, I'm just struggling to get out of the box. But to me, he looks really good. Hopefully the camera is nice and focused there. I'm just gonna bring my backlighting a little closer so that you can see him nice and good. Now, I know some people say they prefer the head sculpt more on the Tiger Force version of Outback. I think this one looks, not just okay, but better than okay. Like, in fact, I would dare say it looks pretty good, but I can see why people prefer the Tiger Force version. I do like his attire here. It looks, very much captures his Real American Hero 1987 appearance. Heck, you can even see, if you can see here some of the red, you can see some hair on his arms even. Now, I'm not going to go through all the full range of articulation, because those of you watching this video probably know what the G.I. Joe Classified articulation is basically like already as it stands, and I need to know whether or not this web gear on the side needs to go lower. It does. According to the box here, I've got to yank the web gear, or not the web gear, the drop leg holster a little bit lower on his legs here. Okay, might not be able to get him all the way. Oh, I can. I was thinking I couldn't get it as low as the photo. The reason I'm not going to go through every little bit of articulation is because I got three figures to unbox on this particular recording, so I will just assume that most people know how these figures bend and articulate. All right, struggling a little bit with this guy. Okay, there you go. Took a little bit of effort to pull the web gear down, or I shouldn't say the web gear, the holder for his flashlight, and the drop leg holster. So what I'm going to do here is just leave him standing for a moment while I pull out the accessories tray, which is this nice color that I also showed on my Sergeant Slaughter review. And let's get this bad boy open next. They are going with this more paper style inner insert now. I suppose there's a bit of a cost-cutting measure for that effect. And let's just get these out, and you can see quite a bit in the way of accessories. You got this very sizable backpack here. You've got his weapon, his sidearm. Not sure if this is supposed to be a spare magazine or whatnot. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comment section. You got his flashlight you've got his shovel, and you've got his knife, which obviously goes into his boot right over here. Just get that in, and yeah, I guess the backpack peg has to line up on the back of the web gear there before you snap it in, or I shouldn't say snap it in, but before you sort of push it inwards. Yeah, and just sort of take a little bit of effort and just twist it in there a little bit. Might need some heat to get it all the way in a little bit more, but all good. So his sidearm goes right there, and his flashlight, as I mentioned, goes on the side like this. What I'll do is I'll check the back of the box to see how all this is lined up. Yeah, okay. And according to the back of the box, this is very much a spare magazine, so maybe I don't need anybody to correct me on that or to comment. Just got to get it in like this, and I believe the shovel can just hang. Can the shovel just hang somewhere? Like, I think you just sort of hang the shovel on the side of the backpack like this, and then put his weapon into his hands. It's kind of like that. Just hopefully I'm not brute forcing this a little too much. And you can kind of swing his trigger finger in a little bit. Okay, so he just, to me, he just looks really great like this. Wow, very impressed with this figure so far. I mean, just look at the detail on him, the colors and everything. Totally captures the essence of the 1987 figure, which I do have in my vintage collection. It's just kind of in a back row right now where it would have been hard for me to dig it out, but hopefully you're getting a good look at this figure. And just looking at the detail, the survival on the shirt, the paint in the eyes, the red, the sort of like dirty, weathered type of hair, you know, some of the detail in the pants, the web gear looks really good. Like, I don't know, like this was the figure I was looking forward to the most when I pre-ordered this particular G.I. Joe Classified wave. So definitely a recommended figure if you are thinking about getting this or have the ability to, or if you're thinking about pre-ordering them, or I shouldn't even say pre-order, I believe they're in stock, so go for it, is more or less my recommendation. So I will park Outback over there and park him in the checkmark column and just toss some of this packaging aside here that I will not be needing going forward, and let's get the next figure unboxed. Now, I do know that some people have had some complaints about the face scans on some of these figures, and you know, the box art on this, like I believe that the box artist here is quite talented, but I do also feel that they took a more kiddie type of look for Covergirl, which, you know, for the mind of the adult age collector, this isn't really how we picture her, or at least how not necessarily how I picture her, but nothing wrong with the artist's work. I think it's just the direction that the company chose to go with drawing her. So just like Outback, I'm just going to get this box open. And I do have a vintage Covergirl as well that I probably should have brought out for comparison purposes. But I will say that the important thing to mention is that unlike the Outback figure of the past, Covergirl didn't actually come with any accessories, because she came with the Wolverine tank back in 1983. So this Covergirl figure, I know, comes with some accessories, and you can see the face scan right there. Hopefully the camera can get some good focus. I know some people have some issues with it. I think it looks a bit mannequin-y, if that's even a word. So from some angles, I can tell it'll probably be okay. Like, it's not, I won't say it's terrible, but I can say that they have definitely done better. And by they, I'm talking about Hasbro. I'll do a bit more of a final verdict once I've got her accessories out. And again, I'm not going to go deep into the articulation of it. There's a lot of channels out there that have done individual reviews of these 3 figures, which I'll mention a little bit later on. So I'm not going to do the full like, arm does this, leg does that, drop down hips, double jointed, or pinless joints. I'm not going to go over all that, even though I kind of just did right then and there. So I'm just going to push her back a little bit. The feet of the women characters are a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit harder to get them to stand, but that's where she can just lean against Outback's box. So much like Outback, she's got the box right here. And let me know as well in the comments if you like this kind of video from me or not. This is not the same sort of like type of production that I normally embark on. Like I said, this is just very candid box opening, basically using StreamYard, which is meant as a kind of a live stream software, except I'm not live streaming right now. I'm literally recording this and then uploading it later on. So she's got a few things here. She's got, I believe that's a shotgun. She's got a sidearm. Like you can see the cool silvery or gunmetal color detail there. You've got a wrench, presumably for the Wolverine, and you've got something of a, gosh, what is this device? Maybe I should have looked it up before I did the stream, or before I did this recording, but I don't know what is it. Like it's like a, oh, I see what it is. If you look closely, it's got the either blueprints or something, but that's supposed to be the Wolverine on there. I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up or not, but I presume that is what goes on this right here. Not sure if the screen should be facing outwards or inwards, but I don't think it matters either way for a toy. Much like Outback, the sidearm just goes in like this, and shotgun goes like that. All right, come on. You wanna. Okay, there we go. And I suppose the wrench can just go in her other hand right over here. So there you go. There's Covergirl. Again, I'm just making sure that the camera picks up on some of the details here. Just have a good look at her. Again, I think that the head scan definitely could be better. Like I said, it's got a bit of a fake mannequin type of look to it, which I know G.I. Joe Classified can do a little bit better, but I can't honestly say it's terrible. I can just say that they can and have done better, and it might look okay from a distance, might look okay from certain angles, sideways. You definitely notice less of that mannequin type of look, but overall, with the softer plastic on her jacket and some of her gear, the drop leg holsters, the colors pop. It's a good figure. I would admit that I'm more impressed by Outback so far, but I would still say, and I would absolutely recommend Covergirl so far. Like I can't honestly look at that and say that it's a bad figure. Like I said, there's some level of improvement that could be desired in this particular figure, but again, G.I. Joe Classified has been making improvements over the last couple of years here, at least in my opinion. I wasn't super thrilled about their first wave, or even parts of the second wave that they did back in 2020. I wasn't super thrilled about those, but these two have mostly followed the trend of the improved figures that we've been seeing over the last couple of years. But yeah, like this Covergirl will definitely fill the void in your collection, and I don't know how often they're going to release these characters, so like if you can pick them up, I would say pick them up. And I know Outback wasn't a character from the cartoon, but he just has that appeal to him that makes me think, man, he's a must-have character. Like I generally stick to characters. Well, when I was a kid, I liked to. No, you know what? That's not even true. As a kid, I liked the characters in the cartoon, but I wasn't always able to get them. So, but he was one of those characters who, regardless of cartoon appearance, he just has that overall appeal to him. So anyway, let's get Falcon open, and I don't know what else I can say about Falcon that hasn't already been said about the way the The mouth is sculpted. I assume that among the 3 figures, this is going to be the one that meets my expectations the least. Oh, and just for anyone who's curious, he's number 64 in the series, and Covergirl is number 59. So, and as I mentioned earlier, Outback is, and I've already forgotten the number, Outback is number 63. So I will assume that 60 and 61 and 62. Actually, no, I'm not going to try to guess which ones those are, which figures were numbered 60, 61, and 62, but I know someone in the comments can probably tell me that. Okay, so there it is right there with Falcon. That mouth is just way too long. And on camera, when I'm just looking back at my, at the screen, it doesn't look as bad as it does in person. Like, I honestly think that it's a bit glaring, that long mouth. I look at the rest of the figure, it's not bad, but let me just take it out of the box. And again, there's always this running joke about Ken being rough with his scissors and not using an X-Acto knife. So maybe I should just finally invest in a freaking good X-Acto knife and not always go at it so hard with the scissors. But it's been kind of a running joke on the channel, so I may as well make it a running joke for a little bit longer. I don't mind. I've got a sense of humor, but I stress the words sense of humor. I definitely don't have much tolerance for trolling, if I can say so. And I managed to get him stuck, so let's get him the heck out of here, out of the package. Okay, so yeah, I mean, his web gear likes to stick up over his shoulder, so I probably got to make some effort to pull that down a little bit and expose the back peg. Yeah, all right. Yeah, now he came out a little bit stiff, so this is one of those figures that might, depending on, his knees are really stiff. So this could be one that might require the hair dryer trick. I've definitely had stiffer figures than this in the past, but like my Storm Shadow figure, but it's not bad in terms of the stiffness. Like, I can manipulate and move the figure, but he will need the hairdryer treatment at least to some degree. Gosh, if there's a way I could lower the camera angle, I'd like to. Just so I could at least get a better look at him. And of course, he's got the accessories tray right over here. Let's file the box over to one side and get the accessory box open. Let's get the rest of the accessories out. And I noticed that this one, looks like the antenna is already in here. I'm not sure if it actually comes, it probably does. Yeah, it feels like the antenna does come out if you want it to, but that's okay. It's already in there, so that works for me. The one thing I noticed is that this figure's accessories match the vintage figure the best. So you've got his beret, or his Special Forces beret. You've got the backpack, which tabs into the back right over there. Yeah, let the antenna stick straight up like that. You've got the knife that just goes into the backpack like this, or goes into his hand. Either way, not a huge deal. And then you've got the shotgun in here. You can tab his finger in. So if it's anything like the box, you can kind of like lay it into his other hand like this, or you can just have him dangle down holding it like as so. Now, yeah, I gotta admit, among the 3 figures, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one I'm probably least impressed with. Now, do I recommend it? I do think that Falcon is an important enough character, especially if you're a fan of the 1987 G.I. Joe movie, that there are reasons to get him. And do I recommend it? I recommend it as far as filling a gap in your collection is concerned, and that the uniform does look good, the accessories look good, but that head sculpt is glaring. And if you have the ability to do a head swap, I would definitely say go for it. Friends of the channel and actually Patreon supporters of the channel, both James Ratface44 Reviews, Ratface44 Reviews being the name of the channel, as well as my friend Ryan over at the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors. They have done lengthier individual reviews of each of these 3 characters, which is why I'm choosing to provide more of an overview here. But I will leave links to their channels in the description below, and you can find recent videos from them or you can search their back catalog once you look at the channel link that I'll put in the description below, and you can see more individualistic reviews on these. But you know, the uniform does look not bad. I thought there might be a little bit more detail with it. Like, this is the one where I do have the vintage figure next to it, because it was the one I was the most skeptical of. And I know how my voice sounds right now. I do like the figure, but I don't like it as much as I thought I would when I saw the digital render back in the day. But if you look at the sort of like camo pattern, or like the green beret pattern that you've got on the vintage figure with like the black and the green pattern, that doesn't come out in this one, right? Like, it's got a little bit of that pattern on the pants, but not as much. So that's why I chose to do the comparison. But it is the one that matches the vintage figure the most in terms of accessories. You know, it's got the shotgun, it's got the antenna, it's got the knife, it's got the backpack, and it also has, oh, that was just the figure stand that dropped on my vintage figure. It's got the beret, which is removable, unlike the vintage figure. So overall, there's your 3 figures for the G.I. Joe classified line of this particular wave. Again, the 3 that I chose to get, not counting the Marauders Barbecue or the crimson colored bat. So let me know in the comment section how you feel about these particular figures. Did you buy them? Do you plan to buy them? I recommend all 3 to varying degrees. If I had to rank them, I would say that Outback is number 1, Covergirl's number 2, and Falcon is number 3. But of course, as a kid, I had more attachment to Falcon than any of the other 2. So it comes down to, are you trying to fill character gaps, or are you just trying to get the best figure out there? Or do you just want to get all 3 like I did in this video here? So anyway, just want to give a shout out to the Patreon supporters and channel members of the Toy Connections YouTube channel for their support. You can find the links to the Patreon and channel membership in the description below. And otherwise, before I sign off, I just want to point to these other video links right up here on your screen, and you can click on that to get some more G.I. Joe and other toy content from me. Otherwise, yo Joe, and I'll see you again soon with some more of my favorite toys. Thanks again, and take care.